I'm joined now by Liana Khachatryan, supervising attorney at West Coast Trial Lawyers. She joins us from Los Angeles. Welcome to you. Thanks very much for being with us. Just take us through what the prosecution will be trying to do in this case and their arguments that they'll be outlining and focusing on.
So, this is a huge case, right? And prosecution really has to bring it because this is the type of case that really could put Trump behind bars for the rest of his life, right? Carrying a maximum sentence of about 20 years, for someone of his age, that we are looking at life in prison. So the biggest argument, in my opinion, there's one really strong argument here, and then of course there's one really big defense. The prosecution is really going to try to prove here that former President Trump knew and knowingly, had criminal intent to not concede the election, right? And of course, he's arguing that, he didn't know, he genuinely believed that he was requesting an honest audit of the votes. And so I think that this case genuinely is going to hinge on intent, which really can be difficult to prove because it's really difficult to prove what is in someone's mind, of course. And so, that's where prosecution's really going to have to bring the circumstantial evidence, tweets, right? Former President Trump is definitely no stranger to putting all of his thoughts out on social media, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, or whatnot. So I don't think this is a slam dunk case, but prosecution really is ready to bring it.
So take us through the timeline. The prosecution want a speedy trial. The defense, former President Trump's lawyers saying, listen, we've got a lot to do. We've got a lot to prepare for. What could we look at in terms of timings now?
The reason they're trying to get a speedy trial because, and alternatively, as you mentioned, right, defense is going to try to push it as long as possible because should President Trump win the election in 2024, this really goes away, right? There's no criminal proceedings against a current sitting president. So that's really going to be a big strategy. I just don't know if they're going to be successful in pushing it out that far out.
What about a jury? What could that look like? Donald Trump's lawyers are trying to move this away from where they're currently due to hold this, where they had the opening statements yesterday, or the opening charges at least. Could he have success in that area?
So, venue is something that allows a lot of attorneys to really kind of move cases around if there is grounds for it, right? Certainly in a situation like this, any defendant is going to want to move venue because prosecution is a very favorable venue here. All the events occurred in Washington, D.C., so venue is actually proper. And I don't think they're going to be able to succeed in moving it to a different venue. But I don't think that it's going to be favorable, right? Most, if not all, voters out there are registered Democrat, and so I just don't think he's going to get a favorable jury pool, which also is something that works against him and also shows us why his defense team is going to try to move venue, but I just don't think they're going to be successful.
Okay, Liana Khachatryan, thank you very much for your analysis there from Los Angeles.